Hey everybody, welcome to Geekoholics Anonymous, episode 284. I'm your host Rico, here with my co-host
Dane Cody!
Dane. Cody and I get together once a week, talk about video games, TV, movies, and or whatever the hell we like. Welcome everybody, episode 284. If you have never been here before, usually we start the show with our BS section, which we are knee-deep in. Getting into some what you've been playing, where Dane and I ramble about the video games we have been playing since last we chatted a week ago. Getting into some news and stuff. News. Public service announcements in our free-for-all section. Welcome. If you did not know, we are a podcast first and foremost. So we ignore the Twitch chat, though we're streaming live now on twitch.tv/Geekoholics, where you can see our beautiful, handsome mugs every Wednesday
one of our
night.
beautiful, handsome mugs.
Yeah, mine. Every Wednesday night, Pacific time, 8 p.m., roughly, plus or minus, depending on life, is what we aim for, unless we delay for reasons, usually special events. Like today, man, we're going to have so much to talk about with the Game Awards going on right now.
That's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
Yeah, no, we discussed waiting till tomorrow, but we both realized that we were probably only going to be able to play a tiny little bit of Cyberpunk and then just whatever that happens at the Game Awards.
Yeah.
And we were both fine doing that next week. So
yeah, I got enough stuff to talk about.
Exactly.
And I don't want to rush to any conclusions with Cyberpunk. You know, I've only played for like 2 hours, so
that's 2 hours longer than I played. So
yeah. Anyway,
although I did purchase it earlier from the Epic Game Store, and I did use our creator code Geekoholics.
Don't forget. Yeah, housekeeping.
So there you go.
Epic Game creator code Geekoholics. Use that if you're buying Fortnite skins or you're buying games on the Epic Game Store, or even in Rocket League. I believe you can put the creator code in Rocket League if you're buying stuff in that. So, yeah, much appreciated. And, of course, you can always throw us those Jeff Bezos bucks by subscribing to our Twitch channel. If you've got...
I may or may not have reached out to some friends this week and been like, hey, you got a Twitch Prime account? Or you got an Amazon Prime account? And they're like, yeah, I do. And I was like, cool. You want to throw me those free Bezos bucks? And they're like, what are you talking about? What are Bezos bucks? And I was like, well, let me explain how this works. If you have an Amazon Prime account, you also have a Twitch Prime account, and you get one free subscription every month that you can give away. I am asking that you send it my way.
Nice.
In those particular cases, because, you know, they didn't.
No, they
don't obviously use it. It's never being used.
That's just making a billionaire richer. That's just stupid.
Right. So
what's stupider than making him richer?
Us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Hey man, games are expensive, okay?
If you've got
it helps.
Yeah.
It absolutely helps.
If you've got the Amazon Prime, you've got the Prime Gaming, which gives you a free sub to any channel each month. Of course, you do not have to throw it our way. Just use it. It doesn't auto-renew. If you got someone else you like on Twitch, maybe you just didn't even know that was a feature that you had that you could use. Just remember to use it. That being said, also join the Discord server, Geekoholics.com/Discord. That is where we have our offline chat, our party chats, our grouping up when playing Fortnite or any other video games. It's a good time. You should do it. Also, I'm a very bad person. Dane, do you know why I'm a bad person?
I mean, I know lots of reasons, but which one are you thinking of?
The most recent reason I'm a bad person? I forgot to set up the new fucking contest.
Oh, dude.
Life has been busy and annoying, and I haven't had a lot of free time.
Christmas season, bro.
Yeah, so I got it. I created it. The problem is I didn't have time to grab like a
URL?
No, an image for it, because it's like a win any game, and I'm like, well, what do I use for an image? And I was looking
a comic book cover.
But that doesn't really match the content.
I don't know. I was throwing it out there. It could be anything.
Trying to find an image of like all new releases, like in a big pile or something. Because literally the next contest we're gonna have, which it'll be up guaranteed 110% before the next time we record. It's created. I just need to post it. It's the choose any game you want. Retail value $89.99. Digital I'm not physically going to a store and buying a game and sending it to you. It's got to be on a
Right.
shop that I can purchase the game and gift it to you. So keep that in mind, whoever ends up winning. And retail value, not this. We're not nothing physical. North America only. That will be up. I will get that done.
Sweet.
And then of course I'll tweet it out on the Discord. So if you're on the Discord, you will see that there first.
Whew. Getting those hot takes.
Yeah, but with that being said, I think that's it for housekeeping. I don't really have any BS. Just busy playing games, and I want to talk about them. Do you have anything to add before?
Busy. Put it in your mouth. Oh, wait.
I don't know.
Wrong song. Sorry.
Do you have anything to add before we dive in, Dane? Well, he sips away on his nice beer. Is it a beer? Of course it's a beer, yes.
Winter ale, baby.
Oh, nice.
Hell yeah. It's delicious.
Dane,
Yeah.
I been playing lots of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I went
How
back.
many? Do you know how many hours roughly in are
Just
you
shy
now?
of 30.
Okay, wow. So I'm just shy of like 18, so.
I'm power level 84 or 86 now.
Okay. I'm 55.
I went back to it because I beat Miles.
Right?
I 99%ed Miles. I like
Dude,
almost
1%, bro.
Yeah, but even when I 100% it, it's not a platinum. There's still lots of like the trophies
okay.
aren't tied to the completion percentage. So that was great, fantastic ride. I think we talked about. Did I beat it? I didn't.
Yeah,
beat it.
game of the year.
Did I beat it before we talked last week? I don't think I did. Did I?
I don't know if you'd beaten it. You were playing it last week. I mean, it's not a super long game if you were to mainline the story.
I will say it is just it. Honestly, it's the perfect length.
I agree.
I wish more games were that self-contained and tight and just and good.
And you can spend all the time you want.
Yeah, I can go back
doing it
and
if you want. Like you
another...
can spend 30 hours easy.
Yeah.
Or you could just do the one thing and call it a day. Like you know what I mean?
Really good enjoyment, pretty high completion out of it in like a reasonable amount of time. So anyway, I beat it. It's great. I'm gonna go back. I do want to platinum it. I would like to platinum it. I say that. I would like to platinum it, but it just depends how things go with Cyberpunk
other stuff
and all this stuff. So I decided to go back to Valhalla.
Got it.
Because I'm like, we got Immortals, and I'm like, I want to play Valhalla. I was enjoying it, and I went back. I literally dumped in a bunch more time. Like I said, I'm almost 30 hours, power level 84.
Right.
I really like that game. What did I say? Did I say it was like an 8 last time we talked?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's still an 8. I was playing it on performance. Then I switched to quality or whatever the hell they call it.
You're playing on Xbox, right? Series X?
Series X, yes.
Okay.
So it is a Series X optimized game.
Right.
And I was playing it on performance, which is like the trying to do 60 FPS
or whatever, yeah.
Which I think after the patches now, it's really doing it easily without struggling. I went to the quality mode for a bit, which looks nice. But to be honest, I don't notice that much of a difference going to the performance. Like, I don't notice losing a lot of detail going to performance, but I do notice the huge jump in frame rate.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm just going to play it like this because it's super smooth and the combat feels way better and smoother. Playing it a lot more, I will say, I can't believe how much jank there is still in these games. Like, this isn't the first Assassin's Creed.
No.
If there were numbers, we're well into double digits.
Yeah, you're probably right.
There's weird physics stuff.
Yeah, it's really strange because I mean, I think I said a similar thing with like Origins was incredibly polished. Odyssey had some strange jank here and there, and in places it didn't quite feel as polished. This feels almost a little less than that. Like, it still looks really good. It still runs.
Oh, it looks
like
amazing.
Surprisingly good. But I know exactly what you mean. There's like little weird things here and there and stuff. Yeah.
Weird animation shit in combat, especially when you're doing like finishers or like you'll be finishing an invisible enemy and the body will be
Uh-huh.
like below an edge slamming into the ground on its own or whatnot,
Yep.
killing itself while you're just
Yep.
moving your hands in the air. There's weird like in cutscenes I've had like NPCs just do weird stuff with their arms and stuff like just
I
randomly or
So last night when I was playing, I had a church bell in one cutscene that was like a lengthy cutscene. This fucking church bell just started ringing like as I went into the cutscene, and it just didn't stop. The entire cutscene had this fucking church bell loudly ringing in my ear. And like I figured it was going to ring like, a few times and then go away, but it didn't. It
yeah.
kept, like little things like that. And I was like, holy shit,
Not-
we're way past like 10 or 12 or however the fuck many this thing should be ringing for.
Nothing game breaking. Just
No.
like just rough edges that just really stick out that
Uh-huh.
considering how many of these games put out, I really feel like these shouldn't exist anymore. Like it's just weird. I just every time I see it, like, oh yeah, this reminds me it's a video game. And it just kind of just it just removes like I'm going from
I've
Miles.
had a few things where I wasn't able to pick up something. Like how like when you walk up to something
just weird
and it's like it
not
says like
detecting-
loot
yeah.
or whatever, like pick up or grab or whatever. There's been a few times where I've had to reload because a thing that was like it was like a mission breaking essentially. Like I was supposed to pick up something.
Yeah.
And it just like I was walking up to it and like I know that's the thing. It's like shiny and it's like letting me know like this is the thing. But I can't get it. Like it isn't for some reason that loot button or that pickup button isn't highlighting or allowing me to do it. Like it's that context menu.
Yeah. It's just funny. Like again,
video games are hard.
Not game breaking,
like,
but it's only more. The only reason it really sticks out is because I've been playing so much Miles. And don't get me wrong, Miles has some weird traversal stuff once in a while and hiccups itself. But when
turns
it comes,
you into a garbage can and then you fly around the city and
okay, I haven't seen that, but when it
Wait,
goes,
have you not seen those videos?
No, I haven't seen
of
the video.
people turning into like all kinds of shit.
That sounds
There's
pretty
like
awesome.
one guy flying around the city as a light post. There was one guy as a garbage can. There's like for some reason there's a specific way that they figured out how to do it. You can turn into a lot of different. Well, no, it's a bug, but like they've figured out how to manipulate it now. But man, like some of the videos are fucking hilarious.
So going from that game where like going from open world to cutscenes are so seamless and the animation is very tight in the combat and the hit detection is really, really good and the counters are really good. Just then I play Valhalla and don't get me wrong, 8 out of 10. I'm really liking the game.
Sure.
But you really notice those rough edges. They just kind of stick out a little bit. And then I just like, man, really? Guys, come on.
Yeah.
Like weird stuff, like just even like when I'm playing, there's no music forever. And it's weird when it's just sound effects and no music. It's just weird.
Do you have like, because you can turn the music on and off and up and down and how often it kicks
the music
in and
would
stuff
come
like that?
in depending where you are, what events are going on, and yada yada. And it's working again now because I rebooted my Xbox. But obviously it's a bug.
Oh, okay.
Obviously it's a bug, right?
Right.
And then I was having some other annoyances which have been fixed in the last few days.
Yay.
The quick resume wasn't working. And the whole reason I'm playing this on my Xbox, like, because Uplay now has that PC to new gen, like, cross save kind of functionality.
Yep. Your saves go up in the cloud and you can use them on other platforms.
So I was like, oh, well, I really got to justify owning a Series X. And I want to play it here. It looks great. It plays great. And
sure.
I want to, like, sit back and lounge and play it on the big screen. And
on the TV with the HDR?
Yeah, the 4K and the HDR and all that nonsense.
Sure.
And, yeah, it's just weird that Quick Resume wasn't working. So on the weekend, every time I went to launch it, and again, this is all because comparing to Miles is what's, like, making these things kind of stick out like a sore thumb.
Right.
And playing on the PS5, and it's like, what the hell? Like, menus, the intro screen, the big initial load, every time. I'm like, hey, this is weird. I'm like, this wasn't like this before. But then I like figured out on the weekend at some point they had disabled quick resume because it was causing all kinds of issues.
Is it because of the quick resume that it was making people's like saves go and stuff?
I
Like,
don't
because I'd heard some stuff
know.
about, or was that Watch Dogs?
That was
That might have been
Watch
Watch
Dogs, but I
Dogs.
don't think that had anything to do with quick resume. I just think that was Watchdog bugs. So,
Okay,
that was a couple days of that, and I was like, really thought I was
sure.
taking crazy pills, that I was the only person that quick resume, and no one like really understood what I was meaning. That it was like, okay, no, I'm doing the full load from the start. I'm not losing my save. I'm not having to start the game over every time. It's just, disclaimer screens,
If I
Ubisoft
press the
screen.
pause button and then I tell my Xbox to shut off,
Yeah.
when I come back, I have to reload the whole
Yeah.
game.
And
not
like,
just
I'm annoyed because I'm like, okay, this worked on my 1X, but it's not working on this thing. And this was like the biggest selling point was the quick resume.
right.
And it's really noticeable when you turn your PS5 on with one button click, and then you hit one button and you're playing Miles.
Yeah.
And it was doing that. And then it stopped working. And it's like, oh, they disabled it because of bugs. And then they fixed it again. And I'm like, oh, thank God. It's just so noticeable now that you're used to it, not having it is like, what's going on?
See, and like for me, of course, I'm playing that game on PC where like I got to load it from the start anyways.
Yeah.
So like for me,
it's definitely faster on PC.
Yeah.
On that initial. But the thing is like when you can just jump into a game, it's like, oh shit, kids watching a YouTube video I got 20 minutes. I could probably do one mission or, inch forward. Because that's how I was playing a lot of Miles, was like little quick hits, right? I was like, yeah, gotta get that hit in. And it was so simple because like bloop, 2 seconds, literally under 5 seconds, turning the TV on and sitting your ass down, you're playing the game and you can actually get something done.
Right. Okay.
30 seconds to 2 minutes, daddy, or some other thing. And then it's like, fuck, I was going to play for 20 minutes and now I can't. So, any barrier to just get you in quicker, it's so amazing. Now that's a godsend.
Right.
So anyway, they re-enabled it. It's working again. I've been playing lots of Valhalla. I'm really liking it. I started some Cyberpunk, and to be honest, I kind of want to go back and play Valhalla because I'm really into it, and I'm liking the characters, and I'm liking Ivor.
Then
more.
do that. Then do that. I've played some Valhalla on the weekend and yesterday actually. I am not as far as you. I've finished.
I'm working on the third alliance now, if that kind of helps.
Okay, I've completely finished the first one that I started.
Yeah.
And I'm on the second one now. I'm assuming that we probably did them in a similar order. I went south first, then to the north one.
Yeah, I don't think you have much choice.
Well, no, you have it off the bat. You can choose. You can either go to the north one or you can go to the south one.
Yeah, you have Grant's Bridge or Grantshire. I don't know. You went and helped Soma.
Yeah,
the Viking, the female Jarl.
Yeah. I went down there and I did that, and now I'm going north, meeting up with your brother and that whole situation. Yeah. So that's where I'm at right now.
They're not really brothers, but your brother.
I know. You know what I mean.
Sigurd.
Sigurd. So yeah, it's what's funny in my case is I've been playing Valhalla. But then I've been going back and I've been playing Immortals, Phoenix Rising. Go figure.
Dane, that makes very good sense. You know why? Because Immortals is very polished and it's very streamlined.
Yeah.
And it's very noticeable when you go from Valhalla to Immortals with the simplified, cleaner menus, the global kind of upgrade system, which is kind of nice.
No, it's there's definitely differences, right?
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I will say now that I've completely finished the first area now. I've finished that whole story off
in Immortals.
In Immortals. Yeah. I've gone
first of 4 gods. It's one of 4, right?
Yeah, there's like the 4 gods that you got to get their essence back or whatever. Not including the starting area.
Yeah.
So I finished the first one completely, finished that whole thing off. Then I've now unlocked the other 2 areas. So I ran over to so I've unlocked a large part of the map. I will say the map, while not nearly as big as an Assassin's Creed Odyssey or something like that, it's fucking dense.
Mm-hmm.
I swear there is so much like almost
Too much?
almost yeah, like it's almost
You're
too much
trying to
shit in
go
that.
somewhere and you're tripping over shit in the way.
Almost like I think I'm pretty good with the whole like I'm getting better. I feel like as I play these open world games of being able to just not care as much about the little thing over in my
Yeah.
screen that's like
I
saying like,
that's how
"Hey,
I've been
you should go
playing.
check this out." And I'm just like, "Yeah, fuck that. I'm working on what I'm working on right now." And that's kind of be
That's how I've
that.
been playing Valhalla. I'm like, there's the mission
Yeah.
marker. If it's a piece of gear or something like on the way,
I'll grab
I'll
it.
grab it.
Otherwise, I'm going
But
to
I'm
the
not doing
mission.
any side shit.
Yep,
I'm just
that's
getting
exactly.
collectibles that are on the in between the A to B. I'll get collectibles,
Yep.
but I'm kind of just concentrated on the stories.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
no, I don't know. It's weird. Like I on the weekend, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get back to streaming again, and I'm gonna play some stuff. And I was like sitting there, and I was like, literally, I was like, maybe I'll stream some Valhalla, and I was like, or maybe I'll stream some Immortals, and I ended up streaming like 4 hours of Immortals over the course of the weekend, and it just I don't know. There's something about like I think with the little mixes of the puzzles and like just and yeah, it's a very polished game. Like I haven't really run into any like weirdness in it. Um, will I finish it? I don't know. Like I do think it's from what I understand, it's definitely shorter. Like
I
if
was
I'm
just
gonna start to kind
looking.
of more mainline it, I hear it can be like 25 30 hours
Yeah,
versus like 60 to 70 hours of like an Assassin's Creed or more.
which is that's
Um
I'm looking it up right now. That seems to be um, more of a completionist playthrough is closer to 80 hours.
for Valhalla.
No, for Immortals.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me because there is a ton of shit. Like I even went like in that first area after you help out the god that's there, she gives you like a quest to go like take down all the legendary animals in that particular area, and I did do that because I was just curious. I was like, oh, maybe there's like some cool like gear or something. Maybe I'll get something cool from it, and like I did get some neat stuff from it. So I was like, okay, whatever, I'll do that. Um, but no, so now I've moved to the second area now. I'm working on it, and yeah, I don't. There's just something about that game that is just it's charming and it's polished, and I'm. The one thing I will say is I'm kind of already done with the shrines though. Like you
Mm.
know how like the Zelda did the
Yeah,
shrines. This also does that. I'm kind of already done with those,
too
which is a
many, or they're
problem.
just too repetitive.
Sometimes it's like sometimes you really got to fucking think about it. Like
Can you get
and then
hints?
some
I can't remember if you can.
I don't think so. They're very similar to Zelda in that regard. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and like sometimes it's neat. Like sometimes you're like, "Ooh, that's clever. I managed to figure out what that was or whatever." But like sometimes it's like I've figured out kind of what I need to do, but it seems so tedious to try and do it. If that makes sense, I'm like, okay, I know I need to get this to there, and that needs to get to there. Oh, I don't feel like I want to fucking deal with this right now, so I just leave. Um, so that's the one thing because of course you need to do the shrines in order to get your like
Zeus power.
the Zeus bolts to upgrade your freaking stamina meter. So I'm like this is a real trade-off here where I'm like, fuck, I kind of they're not my favorite thing. Like there's been a few that I've enjoyed that would have been kind of fun. I'm like, oh, that was kind of clever and that was enjoyable or whatever. But then there's a few that I've they felt kind of sloggy.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's similar to Zelda, right? Like I remember
Mm-hmm.
Breath of the Wild, the first few that I did, I was like, oh, these are really neat. And then like honestly, by like the 30th one I was like doing it, I was kind of like, okay, some of these are really tedious. Like you gotta hit this ball in such a way that it does this thing, and if it doesn't do it then you got to reset the whole thing and try again, and like you know what I mean. And
Yeah.
this has moments like that. There's definitely those shrines where I've like gone into it, or rifts or whatever the hell they call them in this game, and I definitely have like looking at it kind of like, man, I don't want to fucking deal with this right now. But like funny enough, the combat ones I really enjoy though. Unlike the ones in Zelda where I ran into the combat ones half the time and wasted all my weapons and then left because I didn't have any left. So you know, there's that.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say you obviously brought it up with Immortals. Like going from Valhalla to Immortals kind of makes you appreciate Immortals a little more and realize that they did a pretty good job with it. And I think the art style too, like that's the other thing I was talking about bugs in Valhalla is like sometimes some of the cutscenes, I don't know if it's a texture thing or it's just that open world jank where it's like, okay, Ivor and these guys look really good. Now I'm in a cutscene talking to someone else, and they look like PS2 like level dog shit. So it's like, okay, that's got to be a bug, right? Because
or I wonder if like in those cases, because like you're playing it on console, like maybe there's a thing where like
I noticed it on PC as well.
Okay, I was gonna say like maybe the textures like haven't loaded in properly or something.
That's why I'm gonna chalk it up to bug, because like when it is in the proper cutscenes, like my Ivor looks really good.
Sure.
The other characters look really good. Her armor. By the way, I'm using the Twitch, the Prime.
Yeah,
armor.
It's pretty sweet armor.
It's a good armor. It's kind of like a Roman armor set, kind of.
Yeah, it's like a centurion.
It looks pretty badass. It looks really good, like in images.
It's also like epic armor that you can upgrade.
Yeah, I've been meaning to actually post what my Ivor looks like because there's a bit of a character creator-ness to it, right? Like, not everyone's guy looks identical, right?
Yeah.
That my female Ivor looks like excuse me.
A badass?
No, she looks like yes. No, yeah. Yes, she looks like a badass. She looks like the female from God damn it.
Wow, this is going well for you.
What's that wolf show that we just watched? Or that I just watched?
Man, that's a great question.
Shit. I'm like having
You're the one that watched it there, big guy.
God damn it. It was just on HBO. The Ridley Scott
I don't have
thing.
HBO.
Something wolves. Why am I having a brain fart?
I don't know. Where's Leo when you need him?
Yeah, he's not here. He's sleeping.
He's not here. Oh, he's sleeping. He's probably playing Cyberpunk. That's what he's doing.
Why am I having a brain fart? Raised by Wolves. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Jukebox, in the chat. Yeah, the female from that show, not the robot android one, the wife of the. I
didn't watch the show, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
Anyway, I'll post a picture. God damn it.
Do that.
My Ivor is awesome. I really like her. I'm really good at killing people. I will say, I don't know how to get this one specifically. I'm sure if you do a search online, you can figure it out. I got a cool ability. There's a little random side quest in your village. I don't know if it's prompted by your village level or just randomly coming back to your village, but one of the kids calls for your attention.
Okay.
Go do that side quest.
All right. What level is your village? 2?
3, almost 4.
Okay. I heard something happens when your village level hits 3. So
yeah, you get more every level, more stuff can be built.
Yeah, no, I heard that like you could go someplace different when your village level hits 3.
I haven't been proposed. I've opened up like new quest lines and stuff.
Yeah, I'm only level 2, so I don't know.
But I haven't specifically been like to go somewhere new per se.
Yeah, I know. There was another podcast I was listening to, and they were like, "Yeah, I was like doing all this stuff, and then I hit my village level 3, and then this other thing, and now I'm doing this other stuff." And I'm like, "Holy cow! I didn't even think that I could go." And I was like, but he didn't say what it was because he's like, "I don't want to spoil it for anybody." He's like, "But like I've been off doing stuff in this place," and I'm like, "What?"
It must be level 4 or higher,
maybe,
because
I don't know.
I'm almost level 4, and I haven't left the same area that this stuff starts in. So
yeah, I don't know.
So this quest. Do you think it's spoiler if I tell you what you get?
Yeah, don't tell me. Don't tell me what I get.
It's a cool ability. It's a really cool ability.
Okay.
I think it's a pretty awesome ability. It's a ranged ability. I really think you should do it. It's awesome. So if you see some kids yelling at you when you're back at your homestead or your village there,
word to your mom.
Go do the little side quest.
Sweet.
You unlock a cool ability. And a cool thing around your village, which is kind of neat.
Sweet.
if you want to know about it and talk to me offline or on the Discord, I'll talk about it. But yeah, so I don't know what prompts that, if it's level or if it's just random when you come back. The kids like run at you, or one kid runs at you, the little boy.
Gotcha.
I can't remember his name, and he's like, Ivor, I need you to help, follow me, and then you go with him, and it's not the coolest story in the world or side quest. It's pretty basic.
The ability that you get is pretty dope.
But the reward at the end is pretty cool.
All right,
I really
done.
like it. And I'm also dual wielding two-handed weapons. So I'm
right, because there's that ability that you can get where you can use a two-handed weapon in one hand, right?
Yes.
And so you're using that ability to use two-handed weapons,
yes,
one in each hand.
Mm-hmm. Spears are awesome.
Okay.
You get a good spear with that Prime Gaming download.
Yeah,
as
you
well.
do.
Spears are just awesome because no one can get near you. You're just you're basically like,
I will poke you.
You're like, is it Khalik who has the spears in Soul Calibur? Is that his name?
Oh, fuck, man.
Brutalized.
You know the guy. The last time I played.
But you know the guy in Soul Calibur with the spear that everyone uses that sucks at Soul Calibur?
Yes, I know exactly who you're talking about.
You're basically like that, but it's got a pointy end on it. And
right.
You impale people, and it gives you lots of space. So I have that and a freaking awesome axe that goes on fire.
Nice.
And you just spin around and like murder people.
I mean, you do a lot of that in that game.
No, but like literally, you're just a whirlwind of limbs flying everywhere when you hold down the left bumper or the L1. It's pretty awesome. So anyway, I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying that game a lot.
Absolutely. It's funny. I don't know that I will definitely go back and tool around in the Watch Dogs Legion universe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I'll probably put maybe another 10 or so hours into that game maybe at some point, but I don't have any desire right now. Like I feel like part of it was like some of the bugs and the performance. I was kind of letting them release a couple of patches, and hopefully next time I go back there it just feels a little better. But I think that I will definitely finish both Valhalla and Immortals probably. I just like, it's weird. They're so adjacent, but yet they're so different in certain ways.
Just because of the tone.
Yeah, like
and the
Phoenix
colors.
Is this light and bright and fun and cheery and charming, and Assassin's Creed Valhalla is like dark and gritty and I'll lop your head off and dreary, kind of depressing sometimes.
Yeah, it's not super happy. It's no Last of Us 2, but
no. But
Immortals
I mean,
is kind of comedic. Is consistently comedic though, right?
Yeah, and you know what?
Lighthearted.
After that demo originally, I was pretty like, oh my god, the humor in this game is fucking rough.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, there is moments in the full game that you're like, oh dear lord, what the fuck was that? But there's also moments where I've genuinely laughed out loud. And I was like, oh my god, that was pretty funny. So, you know,
I will say a couple more things about Valhalla. I haven't been able to take down a zealot yet. A zealot. I don't know how I pronounce that.
A zealot?
Zealot. I haven't been able to take one down yet. I have done a lot of damage. You
sound like the situation that I was in, but he was way higher level than me. Way higher level. It says
recommended 90, so I tried going. I don't know how the power level gating works because I was in an area that was 120.
Okay.
And I was like only in my 60s, and I wasn't getting one-shotted, and I was killing guys. They were tougher.
Sure. Right.
But the Zealot, what do you say? How do you say it again?
Zealot?
The Zealot, I could not take, like, they were tough, and they're supposed to be tough. They're like kind of like bosses. I'm just wondering how much easier it'll be when I'm the same power level as them. Because obviously they do more damage because they're a higher level than me.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty close to 90. And then I'll probably start hunting them down like I did the Falakis or whatever the fuck they called those guys.
Yeah, because I'm assuming that they're all different levels though too, depending on the area you're in and stuff like that. I don't
know if they're gated by progress, but I've run into 3, so then they show up in the order menu, so you know their names and their fighting styles and what they look like. They're all recommended power level 90.
Okay.
So I'm sure
Because
that'll
I've only
be
come across a couple. The first one I came across, it was an accident,
yeah.
and he started trying to kick my ass, and so we got in a battle that way. And the funny thing was, is I actually did really well by keeping him at a distance and using my bow and stuff on him.
Hmm.
But then I ran out of arrows.
Well, that's the thing.
And
They have a lot of life, and it's like I
yep,
either run out of arrows, I run out of like abilities because I
yep,
can't build up my adrenaline anymore, and then I just
yep.
run out of like healing stuff. And I kind of find, to be honest, I feel like they're a little cheap with some of their like powerful attacks.
They're
Like
tough, man.
they can close
They
like huge distances, and then they're hitting
Yep.
you all of a sudden. It's like wait, wait, wait,
And
wait,
also
wait, wait, wait,
they're
wait.
difficult to get past their shields and stuff too, is what I came
Yeah,
across
the
with.
ones with
Like,
shield. The one that I did the best with that I almost killed. I got him 3/4 of the way down. He didn't have a shield.
right.
He just had a sword, so he was much easier. But then, of
Okay.
course, I fought him in an area that was like 150, and then random guys came that were like they were
Oh.
super strong, and I'm like, fuck. I'm like, okay,
Okay.
now I'm getting outnumbered and fighting this asshole. I gotta run away. So,
Yeah. No, that's too bad.
more tips for skills. And Teacup put me on this one.
All right.
Get the throw a weapon. It's on the right somewhere in the stealth
Yep.
branches of the skill tree.
I
I forget what it's called, but you can pick up enemies' dropped weapons. It's literally like a one-hit kill on another enemy. So you murder a guy,
interesting.
and then you just pick up their weapon and you like just baseball chuck like an axe or a spear or whatever at another enemy, and it like
So-
kills them.
Yeah, so that's a finishing move. So it allows you to chain your finishing move to a second target.
Well, there's
So,
chain
yeah.
assassin is different.
Cuz like
I got the chain assassin ability where assassination
Okay.
ability is where you assassinate someone and then
Yep.
you just throw an axe. Throwing
yeah,
axe
cuz that's
at a
the
second
one that I
target.
have.
You hit
Okay.
the right bumper again after you assassinate someone.
Sure.
That's chain assassination. This other one is you just hit the Y button and you pick up any weapons that are on the ground and just toss them at the nearest guy and one shot them.
Nice.
It's pretty awesome. There is
I will have to
also
grab
the
that one.
ability to reverse stuff that people throw at you. I haven't got that one yet
Oh.
because I'm working on unlocking my 4th adrenaline blob.
Interesting.
But yeah, there's one. So that, and that's the zealots. Some of them throw javelins at you. So those you
Right.
could like literally just reversal and throw it back at them.
Yeah.
Little
Now
like
we're
Captain
talking.
America or kind of Hawkeye thing. I don't know. Anyway,
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
moving
Ooh.
along.
Yes.
It's good. Quickly before we talk about what you are going to talk about because you played something
yes.
new.
I did.
I checked in with Destiny 2 pew, 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 this week in Destiny real quick.
Destiny.
They got the next gen upgrade came out this week on Tuesday
Mm.
for PS5 and for Xbox. You've now
Right.
got 4K HDR 60 FPS.
Nice.
Is very nice. I was playing,
And you can also change the field of view as well.
yes, I was playing on Series X because it's part of Game Pass. So Beyond
Right.
Light, all the expansions, yada yada. Just picked up my character, started playing. It felt really good. It looked awesome. It's if you're playing Destiny 2 on one of the new consoles, that's a pretty awesome freaking upgrade. It's like a new game. Because going
That's
back
pretty cool,
to the
man.
old consoles, it felt like a slideshow.
Right.
And
Well, yeah, like going back from like 60 and stuff on PC back down to like 30 or whatever on consoles.
30
Pretty rough.
sub 4K.
Yeah.
We're talking like I don't think they were even much higher than 1080. If they did that, they must have just done upscaling, I'd assume. But I didn't play them on the One X or the PS4 Pro. But yeah, the new man, if you're playing Destiny, it's pretty sweet.
I know, funny question because neither of us really care, but I'm just curious. Do you know if that also went over to Stadia as well?
I have no idea, or even the cloud, like the Xbox app, if they updated that version, if it was.
Yeah,
like,
I was
what
just
version
curious
of
because
game
like,
you were streaming there, yeah.
well, because I know when Stadia first came out with the Xbox, or sorry, with Destiny 2, it was like running like sub 4K and it was running like not on the highest settings and stuff. So I was just curious if like maybe they also push this out to the Stadia platform, and now you're actually getting like full 4K with like 60 frame, like, you know what I mean? Like,
No
I'd be
idea.
curious. So that's fair.
You
Um,
played a new game?
I did. This was actually part of our
I saw it.
provided by Epic Game Store, so it was added to our accounts a while ago. This game's called Raji, or it's Raji. It's called Raji, an Ancient Epic. It is a Indian game made from a team in India, one of the first that I'm aware of that's been released, at least out here. It's on the Epic Game Store, so it was provided to me by the Epic Game Store, which is pretty rad. So shout out to
It's
them.
on Steam. It's on sale right now on Steam. Part of the
It's
Game
on,
Awards
yeah, it's
sale.
on. Yes, I think it's a really special little game. It's not super long. My understanding is it's about 6 to 8, like 6-7 hours ish long. I'm about 2.5-3 hours in. It's a action adventure game. It kind of, it's funny. It actually, in a lot of ways, kind of reminds me of the old school, not obviously old school, but like the old school Prince of Persia games,
Mm-hmm.
like before they went 3D and like kind of went all crazy, but like back when they were kind of, it's like a bit of isometric. There's a neat combat system. It's all has to do with like these really neat Indian like religious, like there's like the deities and there's demons and stuff like that, and they're talking about the different gods, the different like Indian gods and stuff like that, which is really neat. I've like honestly playing it, I was like thinking to myself the whole time, I'm like, how the fuck are we not making like more games set with these like types of like universes? Because like this is fucking cool. Like there is some gnarly shit in here. Like you got Shiva and like, oh man, there's so many different like gods. The whole concept is like you're this girl. These demons kidnap your brother, and so you're on a quest. And one of the gods helps you. She gives you this like dope. It's almost like a trident. It's the weapon that you use in the game, and actually like the style, the combat and stuff kind of reminds me a little bit of Hades. Like, so it's definitely not. I
Yeah, it
shouldn't
looks
say
like
like
that
sorry
three-quarter
from the.
perspective.
Yeah, it's a similar perspective.
I got a
It's
video on the screen. If anyone's listening or watching the show live, you can get an idea what it looks like.
so it's like an action adventure game. There's some traversal stuff. There's some mild puzzle solving and things, and then there's like kind of combat arenas. Guys come out. There's like a fairly interesting assortment of moves. As you go along, you pick up other weapons from like gods gift you weapons. So like the first weapon you get is kind of
Neat.
like that trident.
Very
Um,
Hades like.
and you use that. Then you get gifted the second weapon that I've been gifted so far is like a bow, and you can use the bow. There's a variety of like, you have a roll. You have a dodge, which is helpful. You can interact with the environment quite a bit, which is really neat. So you can like jump off walls and do like attacks. You can jump over guys and do attacks. So the key is that when you're dodging, so when you're rolling, there is some you can't be hit while you're dodging, but in some of your attacks, you will jump forward and attack or dive away and attack. And when you're attacking, you can be hit during those animations.
Hmm.
So it's like there's this kind of risk reward. You got to be careful. The combat is actually more difficult than I anticipated it to be. I was like, oh, this is kind of going to be like sort of toss this in here and kind of as a way to move the story along. But like, it's actually been surprisingly challenging a few times where I've like hit some bosses and stuff where like I've definitely like, I've been fighting them a few times. So far though, it's got great voice acting. It's like I said, it's an Indian game. They lean very heavily into that. which like I said, I really appreciate. After playing halfway through this, I'm like, how on earth have we not got an Assassin's Creed game set in India, like a real one? I know there was like that kind of like side story, like I don't even know what it was called. That was like it was like a pretend Assassin's Creed game. It was like I like to say it. But like honestly, an Assassin's Creed game set in like actual India with some of their influences and weapons and all that kind of stuff would be fucking rad. Um so yeah, it's like I said, if it's on sale. It's not a super long game, but I'm really enjoying it. I think it's something I'll probably finish. Like I said, it's 6-7 hours long. It's really charming, and I really my understanding is it's a small team from India. They did a thing, and I'm really enjoying it. So, if it's on your radar or if it's something you think you'd be interested in, I definitely recommend check it out, give it a whirl.
I saw it on our accounts, and I'm like, oh, just so much other stuff right now to play.
Yeah, it came out like to be fair, it came out a few weeks ago. And I don't remember like when it came out. It might have been like Watch Dogs or something like that also came out, and I was like, I had actually downloaded it to my PC, but I just didn't, I
It was
didn't finish it.
right in the middle of the storm.
Yeah. But no, I do think it's worth. Like I said, it's not super long, so it's if you're somebody like us where you're looking for something that you could do over like maybe 3 or 4 sort of hour or two sit downs, it's perfect for something like that. Obviously, if you're looking for something that's 30 hours long, that's maybe not for you. But so far, they've done a good job. Like from what I can tell, there's probably a couple more like different weapons that I'll probably unlock as I go. There is an upgrade like tree and stuff. The different deities that help you have sort of different abilities, and you can put skill points into them, and so like it adds combat. There's like kind of a super move style thing that you can do when you get enough of these orbs from one of the gods. There's like a shrine that you come across, and when you talk to them, it's the Kali. The god is the Kali, and she's like the god of like war, I guess, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's the god of violence. That's what it was. And so like when you kill enemies and stuff in the presence of that shrine, it essentially builds up the shrine, and you can grab like charges off of them, and so you can hold 3 of those charges. So when you're fighting like big enemies and stuff, you can use those to like do some serious damage. But there's a real risk reward thing, because like you want to save them for when you really need them, but you're not always sure where you're going to get them from, and so on and so forth. But and I also think that the aesthetics in this game, I wish I knew how to pronounce it exactly. Raji, an ancient epic. I really like the art style. Like it's made in Unreal, but it's so unique. The cutscenes are told in this really really unique. They're like hand puppets. So like the story beats are kind of told via like it goes into this 2D, and it looks like somebody with hand puppets.
Like
It's
string puppets.
yeah,
Stick
it's like
puppets.
these big. Yeah, they're like exactly. They're stick puppets.
Yeah, I was watching.
It's really charming. It's really cool.
It looked kind of neat. Cool.
It's all voice acted. It's really it's surprisingly polished. Like I said, it was a pleasant surprise.
It's
so
like under $30, I believe, and it's on sale right now. Yeah, it's like $28.99. It looks like regular price right now. It's basically $22 Canadian.
Okay. Yeah.
So probably like 15 and close to 20 and 25 for US. I'm gonna guess.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neat.
So
Dane.
Yes.
Shall we get into some news and stuff?
Let us talk about the news.
The news. We both have Cyberpunk. We'll have a lot more to say about that next week. And the Game Awards are happening tomorrow. So we'll talk about that next week.
Yes. And by we have Cyberpunk, we both bought Cyberpunk.
Yes. So I'm playing on Xbox, but I might end up buying it on PC. We'll see. I
haven't installed it on PC. I'm hoping that I'm a little concerned how it's going to run, but we'll see.
We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we do have them. I played 2 hours. Not enough to really say anything. Seems cool so far. but that's where I'm like, I might buy it on PC because I kind of feel like I want to play it with keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, that's why I bought it on PC. I just hope it runs okay now.
Our first story: Casey Hudson and Mark Draw announce departure from BioWare. The story from Eurogamer by Matt Wales. BioWare general manager
Casey just go back there?
Yes. He went back before the launch, I think a few months before the launch of Anthem.
Was it before? I thought he was there after, like right around, like
it was
just
close
after
to the launch, I think, for Damage Control. I can't remember exactly. But anyway, Hudson began his tenure at BioWare back in 1998, serving as project director on the likes of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic and Mass Effect. Parted ways for the first time in 2014, but returned after a brief spell at Microsoft in 2017.
Okay.
In a new post announcing his retirement from the position of general manager at BioWare in order to make way for the next generation of studio leaders, Casey wrote, "It's not an easy decision to make, and big changes like this always come with a certain degree of sadness. I'll miss working here every day with our developers, the biggest, most exciting projects I can imagine to continue, but I also know that this is a good time for change for both myself and BioWare." Mark Dura, who served as executive producer on all of BioWare's mainline Dragon Age games, offered similar sentiments in his own departure post, writing that this decision to retire from his position at BioWare was very difficult. "The team of amazing developers of Dragon Age make my life fuller and better," he continued. "They have taught me so much, but the strength of the team is what also makes this possible. I know that Dragon Age won't just survive without me. It will thrive."
Yeah, so this is interesting. I mean, obviously Casey Hudson was the guy that kind of he was brought, or at least my understanding was like he was brought back to kind of get that studio back on track after
Clean up
Mass Effect
Anthem.
Andromeda, and Anthem, was kind of a hot mess, and so he kind of came back in to sort of like right the ship and kind of point it in the right direction. And it's like sounds like he feels that he's good to go now that he's kind of done that. Mark Dura, like my understanding was he was the guy that was heading like Dragon Age, so that's a little disconcerting because like it sounds like Dragon Age has already been like restarted once or twice.
Yeah, we first heard or saw about the newest Dragon Age at least a couple of years ago now, but have really yet seen nothing.
Yeah, it sounds like it's still really early.
Is to me, honestly, this is all concerning. BioWare has been kind of floundering a lot lately. A couple big misses, I think, with Andromeda and Anthem.
And I mean, who knows? Anthem, I mean, like, I'm still crossing my fingers. Like, I'm still super curious to see what they're gonna like. Are they gonna pull it back out like at the Game Awards tomorrow and be like,
"That's the
boom,
thing,
guys,
Dragon
check this
Age
shit out. Anthem's gonna be awesome."
Rumor is we're gonna have some Dragon Age stuff tomorrow, but it's probably just gonna be a freaking teaser trailer. I don't, man. BioWare is. I've said it before. I think it's like a shallow, or I don't know, a frail,
it's a shadow of its former self.
Yeah, it's like just a walking corpse. Or I just don't think BioWare is going to hit the highs that they used to. A lot of the talent's left. A lot of the big management and people like this have been leaving. They've had couple huge misses, and it's just like, it's like
my question, honestly, is why? Why would you?
Why? Like, I know the answer to this question. Two initials.
I don't agree with that. Yeah. I think it's
EA. After the doctors left, this is when all this shit started. After the doctors retired, who used to run ship, I think, very effectively there, and EA got more involved and got more of its dirty little tendrils into BioWare. I think that's when stuff started going sideways and downhill for them.
See, this is what everybody wants to do. Like nobody wants to seem to blame BioWare for just fucking their own shit up.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's all management.
Hold on. I don't know that it is though. It's like because like we've seen other studios that are under EA and they do just fine. They're building games, they're releasing shit, And they flat out said this wasn't EA fucking our shit up. This was the reason this happened was us. Like, they own Respawn. Respawn's made a couple great games. Like, from my understanding, it's like they haven't really fucked with anything. Like, and don't get me wrong. Like, I think EA has definitely got their issues, as clearly they seem to be getting back on track now. But there was definitely a few years there where some weird like management upper stuff was seemingly going on. Like, suddenly we're gonna put everything on Frostbite, even regardless of if it should or shouldn't be on Frostbite. Like I'm not saying that EA is not at fault at all here. I'm just saying that every story I ever hear about BioWare, everybody does the exact same thing you just did. Like, oh, EA just got involved and fucked it all up. And it's like, I don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
Like, I think that from what I've seen, with Anthem and with Andromeda, is it seems like BioWare fucked it up.
Well, maybe they did.
And like they were the ones.
A lot of the talent has moved on.
And I don't know if like they're not able to retain talent because people and like I said, like it could be management. Like, I don't know. I'm not in those situations,
well,
but like I don't.
If a place sucks to work and you're talented, you don't stick around.
Right.
Because you're valuable and you can write a fucking blank check anywhere in this industry.
Sure.
But
well, at least I think there's I think some people can. But no, it's interesting to me like that BioWare seemingly has, and again, I don't know. I'm not at the studio, right? Like, I don't, I'm not working there day to day. Like, by all means, if you are and you want to like reach out and tell us what's going on, by all means. But
it takes more than one person to make this stuff. Casey doesn't make this game on his own. Mark doesn't make these games on their own.
Not at all.
But toxic environment and whatnot, like leadership, management, all kinds of factors, stuff changing, crazy deadlines, timelines, pressure. I don't know. Like, there's a lot.
Well, I
just
just
stuff,
wonder,
obviously.
like, say, again, hypothetical. None of this I know for sure whatsoever, but like, I'm wondering, like, is Casey looking at it going like, okay, we got this Anthem thing. I think this is what we should do. And this is what I think we should do with Dragon Age. And either him and the creatives on those projects, maybe mixed with EA, are all kind of not jiving the way he wants. And he kind of goes like, you know what, guys? I've been trying to get your shit back on track for 3 years now. I came back in 2017 and I don't feel like that's happening right. Or he's very comfortable with where it's at, and he says,
maybe
"You know what?
Like, truth to their messages, and they got the ship righted, and the guys there can do their own thing, and they want to do their own studios, or they want to retire from the industry. Who knows?"
Yeah, like that's so it's just it is. I hope, and I hope that like we said, games are made by hundreds of people, especially games of this size, and I really hope that, just because they lose 2 people doesn't mean that these are going to be hot messes. Because like we've seen, obviously, games that can come out of EA and out of other studios that are great. And I hope that that's what we're going to see out of the next Mass Effect and our Dragon Age. And who knows? I mean, is Anthem going to come back and is it going to be turned around, or is it going to be too little too late when it finally comes out and everybody goes, wow, that was a giant waste of money? Who knows? Right?
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows?
Anyway, in my opinion, I don't feel like it's good, but time will tell, and we will come back to this, and then I'll go, or I'll go, I was very wrong, and they righted the ship, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm hopeful, man. I guess like that's the thing.
I don't want
hopeful,
things to suck there. They made fantastic. I love the Mass Effect games. I love Shepard, Garrus. Fucking all they've created some amazing worlds and universes, and I would like them to have that success again,
for sure.
And anyway, hopefully, here's hoping. This next story also from Matt Wales at Eurogamer. Oscar Isaac is cast as Solid Snake in the Metal Gear Solid movie, from Jordan Voight Roberts. He's still helming that dude from Kong Skull Island.
Yep,
I met him at E3. He's a cool fucking dude. He's really nice.
I really like Oscar Isaac.
So do I.
I really like him.
Some people were like,
I
poo-pooing.
don't know. I don't know that this was like I'm thinking of him in all the movies that I've seen him in over the last while. Like, and he's got range. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying, obviously I didn't see his casting reel or whatever for this, and somebody went, holy shit, that is fucking Solid Snake. Like, I haven't seen that, so I can't say. But it seems like an odd choice, personally. Like to me, Solid Snake is that. Like, honestly, you could honestly get the actor that voiced Solid Snake. He is an actor. A lot of people don't realize, like, he's also an actual actor,
screenwriter,
and he's also a screenwriter. He wrote X2, which was the best X-Men movie. Go figure.
Very, very good X-Men movie.
But like, I think in some ways would almost, at least from a pure looks perspective, and again, like I said, like I almost think that he would have been a better choice, but I'm cautiously optimistic. At the end of the day, I feel like this movie is, I don't know, man. Metal Gear Solid is so weird and awesome and strange and stuff. I just worry that this movie is going to get so far up its own ass and it's going to be terrible. I like video game movies have generally been awful, but I feel like Metal Gear Solid, like, if you were to try and make
what movie he's in, but I swear he wasn't in a movie where he's like a kind of gruff military guy.
Oscar Isaac?
Yeah, or am I getting him confused with someone?
I mean, he's been in lots of movies.
Yeah,
so
Triple Frontier with
yeah,
he was kind of a gruff kind of military guy in that, or like not the funny kind of guy that everyone kind of pictures Poe Dameron, kind of goofy.
Yeah, no. So like the funny thing is that he plays the bad guy in Sucker Punch. And for whatever reason, for me, that he did such an incredible job as that role, but he's also such a fucking piece of shit in that movie that is actually where my mind goes when I think of him.
Yeah. Did you watch Triple Frontier?
I don't think I have, no.
It's Ben Affleck, Oscar Isaac,
Charlie Hunnam, didn't see that one.
Pedro Pascal. It's a Netflix
I'll have to check it out.
It's not a bad movie. He's like kind of like a more gruff. It's a military movie. It's like they're like an elite squad of dudes doing shit. And
is that the one where they're like
stealing the money from the drug cartel?
Yeah,
or whatever,
that one. It's on my list. That's totally on my list. Yes,
yeah, it is a great movie. So that seeing that movie, I'm like, hey, like that's where it's like, oh, I can see that.
Okay.
Seriously, you put his face next to Solid Snake's and you put a bandana on him and you give him a little of a beard.
Oh no, the looks are definitely there. Like I've seen the mock-ups where people have done like because he's kind of already got the hair.
Yeah.
You put a bandana on him. You like you said, he generally rocks the like 5 o'clock shadow anyways. Like I could definitely see, dirty him up a little bit, and he's definitely he's got some of that Metal Gear Solid Snake.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited because Jordan as well he's like a huge Metal Gear fan. Like he's a Kojima fan, he's a Metal Gear fan, he's very familiar with like he's a gamer, he's a fucking gamer.
So on one hand, yes. On the other hand, are we talking Metal Gear Solid, like Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3? Or are we talking like Metal Gear Solid 4 and 5? You get what I'm getting at? Like, they're all like
all Metal Gear.
I feel like the first like Metal Gear Solid 1 and Metal Gear Solid 2 especially are very like I could see that being a movie. Like I could kind of see that being a movie. You start getting into like the later ones and like it gets really like, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But it gets so far up its own ass. Like I can't imagine trying to make a movie out of any of that shit.
Like less worried am I about the actors they cast. I'm more worried about how Kojima ass this movie gets.
That's my point. That's exactly my point. Like, is this thing going to end with some like bright light happening and some doves flying out and everybody going like sitting there going like, wait, what the fuck was that?
Luli lolly low.
Right. Because like, let's be honest, we like, what the fuck was Kojima's last game? You know what I mean? Like So that's my thing. When I hear about this, I'm like if we're talking Metal Gear Solid 1 through 3 style, and like, it's kind of grounded, but it's got some of these wild anime shit.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. Like, fucking bring it on, baby. But if we're going into 4 and 5 territory, baby, like, oh boy, woo, let's hold on. Let's hold
We're
on.
probably a few years away still, but I don't
Oh,
know.
I'm
I've
sure
got
this
some
thing has
faith.
been,
I like Oscar and I like Jordan, so
dude. Jordan Voight Roberts was brought on initially in 2014. This thing has been languishing
I
in
know.
development hell.
I talked to him about it at fucking E3.
Yeah.
like,
So like, yeah.
moving along. Not much to say here besides cool. The story from IGN by Terry Schwartz. Dune, The Matrix 4, Mortal Kombat, and more coming to HBO Max with the entire WB 2021 like theatrical movie slate. Basically, Warner Brothers has been like, COVID's fucked everything up. The movie theater scenario is a mess. We're just gonna stream all this shit. All our movies for next year.
They're
They're going to
still
be in the movie
releasing
theater still.
alongside.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. But
they're all also releasing in the theater.
but you don't have to go to the theater and risk your health. No. You can watch these at home. And no additional cost. It's included with the subscription fee. People are like, "Oh, great. It's going to come."
Assuming you have HBO Max.
Yeah, which should translate theoretically to Crave in Canada. But that's because people were like, "Oh, theoretically, $35," because that's what Disney Plus did with Mulan. It was like $35 on top of your subscription. So it's neat. It's cool because I don't want to go to the theater.
I mean, I want to go to the theater. I just don't want to go to the theater with other people.
But I don't want to go to the theater. I'm dying and could literally die if I go to the theater now.
Yeah.
I miss going to the theater. You know how many free movies I have banked up on my credit card right now and my Scene account? I have 33 free movies, dude.
Wow, you spend a lot of money on your credit card.
I got like lots of movies to go watch.
Yeah.
I haven't used
like
it
I said,
in like a year and a half.
For me, this is kind of, I mean, it's still probably cheaper to get a Crave subscription for a few months and watch some of these, but like, I'm not gonna lie, like, you as somebody who gets that shit for free, lucky you. But like, for me, like, that shit's like an HBO/Crave subscription in Canada is not fucking cheap, man. Like, that shit is expensive. Like, I do not subscribe to it right now.
Can you not just get Crave through like the website?
You can, but you still have to get Crave, and then you add HBO on top of it. So that's how it works. Like, you get Crave, which is like 10 or 15 bucks a month.
So then you got to pay another 15 or 20 bucks for HBO.
You got to pay, I believe it's an additional $20 on top of that to get HBO. So suddenly you're paying like 30 bucks a month.
But you get all those movies still cheaper?
Yes. I'm not, like I said,
it's neat.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just, and that's assuming that that's how this is going to work in Canada.
Yeah.
I still because of licensing deals, I have no fucking clue.
I wish we had the HBO streaming, and I kind of wish we had Hulu as well. Anyway, it's neat. Moving along. Persona 5 Strikers coming to PS4, Switch, and PC in the West. February 23rd, it was announced. Cool. Persona Muso, the story from Gamatsu by Sal Romano. I don't have a lot to say besides more Persona is a good thing. It looks neat. But
this is the weird like Omega Force developed game, right? Where it's essentially like a Muso. Yeah.
It's like the new Zelda game and whatever. It's their wheelhouse. I kind of just wish it was a Persona 5 Golden coming to Switch, but hey.
Yeah. Meh.
Next story. Neil Druckmann named co-president of Naughty Dog. The story from Rebecca Valentine by GameIndustry.biz. The Last of Us 2 creative director and Naughty Dog vice president Neil Druckmann has been given a promotion and might now serve as president of the studio alongside Evan Wells. A blog post today, Wells announced the news following an all-studio meeting alongside the promotion of Allison Mori and Christian Gerling to vice president. Mori formerly was Naughty Dog director of operations, while Gerling served as a co-director of programming. Is that how you pronounce that?
I don't fucking know, man.
Druckmann has been the vice president role for nearly 3 years following the 2018 promotion, has been creative director on both The Last of Us and its recently released sequel, as well as worked on the Uncharted and Drac and Daxter IPs. He's been with Naughty Dog since 2004.
Fucking make a new Jack and Daxter game, you
That's not
coward.
going to happen. That's going backwards. That is
Fuck you, man.
such a waste of their talent.
Fuck you.
They're
I would love a new Jack and
hopefully
Daxter game
gonna
from
do
them.
something new. This is cool. Congratulations. Neil, we've met him. I'm pretty sure you've met him at PAX. I've met him at PAX. I have a picture of Neil and Evan together outside of a PAX panel. I think it was one of the Uncharted panels. Or Last of Us.
It was The Last of Us.
Was it
that was the first
panel?
Last of Us.
Yeah, that was at PAX West.
Yep.
And chatted with them for a little bit. Cool dudes. I've had a couple run-ins with Neil.
He seems like a really cool guy.
Yeah, he seems nice. He's been behind some fantastic franchises. I don't know, gets a lot of fucking hate. It just kind of drives me nuts. Like, Naughty Dog makes these amazing games that challenges people and your conventions and your ideas of who and what people can be or heroes. And then, like, I love gaming. I love our community. But man, we have such close-minded people that, like, just really sometimes bring down the community and the image of what gamers in general. And it's just like, man, like, grow up.
Yeah.
Not everyone's a bald white space marine. Like, fuck off with that. Like, people are different. We come in all different shapes and sizes, ethnicities, colors, races, sexes, no sexes, whatever you want to be. Everyone deserves to be a hero. Everyone deserves to be in the spotlight.
Hell yeah.
Like, anyone that hate, like, people, like, he gets so much guff about Last of Us 2 is an amazing journey. It takes you places. It challenges you. It makes you feel things that you don't want to feel. But, like, that's, like, life. Like, confronting stuff, learning new stuff, living in other people's shoes. And it's just like, no, I just want fucking Joel to be the hero through the whole fucking thing, the gruff white guy that I can picture myself being, and I want you know what, if you want that game, go make your fucking own game, and then you can have your heroes and your characters and your stories killing everyone else and doing whatever fucking stupid ideas you have. So anyway, I'm going off on a tangent.
Seriously? No, this is a good tangent. Seriously, after watching the videos that were posted on Twitter and Twitch and various other places of people watching Miles Morales and seeing somebody for the first time that they could relate with being a hero of their fucking game, it brought tears to my eyes. I'm a fucking white dude, and yet I empathize with those people to the point where I was like, it brought tears to my eyes for them. And like, that's the type of shit we absolutely need to see more of.
Oh yeah, like the
in our
excitement
games.
people
Like,
had.
It was incredible. It was seriously unbelievable. I could not believe, for the first time seeing these people like Puerto Ricans and like, it's just like they were represented in a medium that they loved, and they weren't like some shitty bad guy or whatever. No,
Yeah,
they were the fucking protagonist. They were the badass. Like, fuck yeah, let's do it. I want to, and like, so yeah, if that's just a small.
It's like the whole Black Panther thing, which kind of sucks, obviously, with Chadwick Boseman passing this year. But like, how excited people were to finally have that. We're not just gangsters and thugs and bad guys. We're like an awesome hero. So diversity's cool, man. It's cool to open up, have an open mind. Having a closed mind is a very sad, sad thing. You are missing out on so much.
Agreed.
Challenge your conventions, challenge your ideas and your opinions. It's part of being a human being. Just being in your little bubble of everything you like, that only you agree with. That, I don't know, if you like that, sure, like, go be that way. But there's so much more color in the world that if you open up and have an open mind. So anyway, kind of totally off the tangent, but it's just it relates to Neil because he gets a lot of hate because everyone blames Last of Us 2 female protagonists and Abby and what happened to Joel. They blame that on him, and it's like, you guys are missing so much. There's such good storytelling there that it's like, it's unreal, the level of like good storytelling that happens there. Moving along. Call of Duty has brought in $3 billion in the past year. This story also from GameIndustry.biz by Brendan Sinclair. Activision shooter franchise breaking records with mainline releases reinforced by Warzone and Call of Duty Mobile.
Wow.
The total includes contributions from Black Ops Cold War, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Mobile, and Call of Duty Warzone, which launched in March.
That's insane, man. It's the biggest year they've ever had for Call of Duty, for crying out loud. Like, that's crazy.
Hey, who would have thunk releasing a free-to-play Battle Royale mode as opposed to charging for a Battle Royale mode, which they did, was it not just the previous year? Or was it the year before?
No, that was the year before. That was the previous year.
Like, weird. Build it and they
that
will
was Black
come.
Ops 4, right?
Also, freaking Modern Warfare is fucking the best Call of Duty since the original Modern Warfare. Like,
I wonder if it was one of those situations where they had kind of done the same thing and tried to iterate for so long on it that by the time they went back to it, people were ready for it. Do you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like I'd sort of fallen off playing like Call of Duty multiplayer and stuff like that for like 10 years, and now they brought it back, and I was like, shit, apparently I'm ready for it again. You know what I mean?
I haven't played a Call of Duty for an entire year. Like usually a month, maybe 2 if we're lucky.
Sure.
Like up until all the new releases in the past month and new consoles, I've been playing Call of Duty like once a week. Yeah. Right now, I just haven't because I just got so much new stuff I want to play and experience and talk about, obviously, on the show. So I can't just play Call of Duty all the time, but I love Modern Warfare. I enjoy Warzone.
Yeah, it's a really good game.
Plunder. Like, it's fun.
One might say it was the game of the year for 2019.
Yeah. Anyway, congratulations, Bobby Kotick, on being an even richer prick. I mean, good guy.
Did we also want to touch on the fact that in the same spirit of this, that frickin' apparently the new World of Warcraft Shadowlands expansion is the fastest selling
Did I not put it on the
PC?
outline? I missed it.
I don't think it's on
here.
here.
3.7
the fastest selling PC game ever.
What the fuck, man? Is that because everyone's working at home and they want to play WoW? They're really like alt-tabbing some
Diablo
WoW?
4. It'd be Diablo 4 or as the fastest selling PC game ever of all time. Like that's wild.
Yeah.
So,
crazy.
Yeah. And people are like, "Oh, I wonder what Activision's up to." They're up to fucking counting their money.
It is. He's Scrooge McDucking it over there, swimming in a fucking vault of cash.
Yeah.
This next story from IGN by Matthew Adler. PAX reveals tentative 2021 convention dates. Safety is always our highest priority. PAX has revealed its tentative calendar for conventions to take place in 2021. This includes PAX East, PAX West, Australia, and PAX Unplugged. In a statement put out on Twitter, PAX team revealed that the events will begin in the later half of the year. The dates are as follows. PAX East, June 3rd to 6th, which is like late, like much later than PAX normally is. It's usually in like March, plus or minus. I think
February? End of February, early March?
That is like on top of E3.
I was just going to say, like, that to me sounds like...
Because I feel like E3 is the following week. Which
is
kind of crazy.
That seems strange,
hey,
but all right.
Reed Pop don't give a fuck. They need to make their money. They can't be worried about E3.
I guess, yeah.
PAX West, September 3rd to 6th, which is probably the Labor Day long weekend again. 2021. This is all 2021. Yeah. PAX Australia, more information to come. PAX Unplugged, December 10th to 12th. It's worth noting that PAX South is not happening. They're going to skip a year because PAX South is definitely usually in January.
Right.
Which isn't going to happen in the fucking US. I don't know about PAX East in June still. I don't know if the vaccinations are going to be around. I don't know if people are going to be quite comfortable to travel. It could still possibly happen.
Plus, you got all those anti-vaxxers that are going to be like, no, the government is trying to put the nanotech in us.
I just assume if it does happen, it's going to be smaller. I have a feeling the U.S. is such a goddamn mess right now. I still think June might be, for us in Canada, life might be back to normal. But I don't know about the U.S. And that's the thing. Even if the U.S. isn't, and we are, and we're all vaccinated and fucking immune, and we're not scared to travel, I wonder how that works. Like, are we still going to have, like, quarantines when you come back, or are other countries going to allow people to go there? Or you like, I can't afford to quarantine 2 weeks after a 1 week vacation to go to a convention. That's my whole year of holiday in one fucking go. That's not going to happen.
You know what this sounds like to me? It sounds like future Dane problems.
Yeah. This really sounds like hopeful thinking.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta.
I miss PAX. Fuck, I miss E3 and PAX and all this stuff. Like, I love conventions. Like, huge. Like,
you gotta plan and hope though, right? Like, because these things take a long time to plan for.
It's a lot of work.
So I mean, if they're planning now, then they're hoping that things go well, and if it doesn't go well, then they make the changes. But at least if things do go well, they're ready to go, right?
I'm pretty positive by the time PAX West rolls around in September of next year, things will be pretty close to normal.
I sure as hell hope so, because that'll be a year and a half going on this shit. So
June, I think it's still too close. Considering the way America's healthcare is a fucking disaster. 14 million people lost their healthcare.
Yep.
So you think that's 14 million people that can fucking afford to go get a vaccination that isn't covered by their work because they're unemployed?
Yep.
And they've got record cases every day and record people dying. Like, ugh.
They hit an all-time death rate today, so there's that.
It's a fucking disaster still. That's 6 months away.
Time will tell. Time will tell.
Fingers crossed. Like, one day I'll go back to normal.
And moving along.
We'll see you at PAX West.
Yeah. Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game, 2021 release date announced. The story by IGN by Matt T.M. Kim. Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game, has escaped video game purgatory once again, and Ubisoft has announced that it will be returning on all platforms starting on January 14th, 2021. So there you go. If you're interested in the side-scrolling beat-em-up shooter, beat 'em up. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. It's a side-scrolling beat 'em up. If you're interested in that, that's when that comes back out. So.
I own that game.
Yep.
Yeah, I own it on PS3. It's PS3.
Yeah, it was a PS3, right? Xbox 360 era. So I also own it on PS3. So
40 boxes. This next one from Kotaku by Luke Plunkett. 40 boxes of RTX 3090 graphics cards stolen from warehouse in China.
This is fucking gross.
I've got an alibi. I was at work. It wasn't me. It's bad enough that bots and scalpers are buying up all the stock of NVIDIA's new graphics cards, but some thieves in China have taken things to the next level and stolen 40 boxes of 3090s valued around $340,000 from an MSI warehouse. Yikes.
Man.
Tom's Hardware reports via GoFlying at GoFlying 8 translation. The cards went missing earlier this morning. Wildly, MSI believed that due to the extreme security in place at these facilities, the area is under video surveillance and trucks are checked coming in and out of the docks, that the theft was an inside job.
Well, I mean, when you're seeing like the markup and stuff on all these cards right now, it's
why fucking Amazon guys are stealing PS5s. It's why
dude, this
Xboxes are going missing. Like this is all
the story that was posted on our Discord. It was like out of something in a fucking Fast and Furious movie where the guy is literally driving his semi down the freeway.
UK gangs stealing PS5s from delivery trucks while they're still driving.
This is insane.
This story,
what the fuck?
This story from IGN by Joe Scrubbles. Like, this shit is so hard to get that thieves can't even fucking scalp this shit, that they're resorting to stealing this shit. It's fucking crazy. Is this the scarcity? Is this a side effect of unemployment and the whole COVID craziness?
I think it's a mix of everything. I think it's a mix of the
everyone,
demand is way too high. They're way too scarce, and people have nothing better to do than they're stuck at home. They want to play video games,
and I guess
so. Everybody's like, I want to play the new stuff.
Drug dealers are having issues moving drugs, so they got to move into electronics now. This is old school '80s. Fell off a truck.
No, this literally is.
We stole the truck.
This is literally when people go to eBay and they see, oh my God, if I had a PS5, I could sell it for double what I paid for it. That's what this is. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like that is exactly the issue here, is that there's too many people that are actually buying these scalped PS5s at these insanely high rates that they're making it worthwhile for people to do that.
I kind of feel like it's a side effect of people having a lot of disposable income, not caring and paying too much, like you said. But it might also be like out of necessity for some of these people that maybe they don't have their jobs and they need cash to pay next month's bill. Like this is insane.
Yeah.
It's smart. I'm not gonna lie. This is the shit you want to steal. So these criminals have definitely stepped up there. They've identified the proper stuff to steal. This ain't like fucking truckloads of Cabbage Patch Kids or stupid items. This is like they know what they're going after. They're going after the goods.
Yeah. It's wild, man.
It is crazy. It's fucking ridiculous. And
yeah.
If you're having trouble getting this stuff, dude, I said it a couple months ago. Go follow at L Babbins, or however the fuck you pronounce his name. It's in the Discord. I've tweeted it out. Game Deals Canada or Video Game Deals Canada. The guy, you turn your notifications on. You're going to see when video cards are available. You're going to see when Xboxes are available. You're going to see when PS5s are available. Though PS5s are a fucking disaster. There was a PS5 drop. There's only been literally like one drop in Canada. Walmart, I think, had last week after we recorded. And for the first time ever, from what I understand, Walmart's site just shit the bed. Everyone on that Discord, the Canada Game Deals, was just like, yeah, nothing. I didn't get anything. I got as far as the cart. I had some of my coworkers that had been bugging me, asking me about PS5s. I'm like, dude, Walmart's got to drop. Have your stuff, your cart ready. Have your log in, all your stuff updated. And they're like, I got to the cart and then I got booted and then I was in a queue. And then by the time the dust settled, they were all gone. And I heard that over and over again. It's super frustrating. And that's the thing. It's a combination of scarcity. It's also probably a combination of a lot of people are at home right now in front of their computers and able to be there for these launches or these drops, which in the past, people are at work, the world is normal. Not everyone's at a computer. So there's a lot of factors that have made this worse than normal, because to be honest, there's more PS5s and Series X than there were PS4s and Xbox Ones. And it is much harder to get them, but gaming's bigger. We're 7 years later. People are at home with money. People want Xboxes. People are just at home sitting at computers, and the whole scalping thing. It's just a fucking gong show. It's a disaster on so many levels.
I think that's the thing, is that I think that you got to remember that normally, like with the PS4 launch and the Xbox One, I think that there was a fair amount of them in stores and stuff. So like the thing is that like right now, you could
go to store and line up. Right. There wasn't a lot in store. You could just go to store and line up.
I remember picking up my PS4 though on the day of launch. I had a pre-order, so like I walked in the store.
Yeah, so you made an effort before launch.
Sure,
but there was a handful.
There was a stack of them, and I remember a guy walking in behind me, grabbing one off the stack. Yeah. And there wasn't a big lineup out the door on launch day either.
Then they were gone for the holiday break, like every launch. People think,
of course,
people forget. Like once they sell out initially, they do get hard to get for a couple months. It's been like this for well over a decade. So it's like,
but like I remember, if you were to look back in the Wayback Machine, I remember the stories of people buying hundreds of PlayStation 4s and putting them on eBay thinking that they were going to do what these people with PlayStation 5s are doing, and none of that shit happened because there was enough stock that people were like, fuck that, I ain't paying that. I remember literally some stories were written about scalpers being like, I ended up not making any money, and it actually ended up costing me money because there was enough supply.
With the Wii U, that was, but I think the PS4 still had a decent scalping scene. I can't remember though, but there's a bunch of factors. Follow at L Babbins on Twitter. hit me up on the Discord if you want his Twitter handle, because I don't have it in front of me right now and I don't really want to look it up. I believe it's Game Deals Canada or Video Game Deals Canada or whatever. The dude's got notifications. You turn notifications on Twitter, and this is gonna tie into one of our one of our things we're gonna discuss or I'll talk about it now from our free for all. I got a 3070. I got a 3070 because I followed this guy. I got the notification, and I ordered it. Obviously,
he's L Babbins, so LBABINZ
on Twitter.
Yes.
So if you follow him and turn on your notifications, you'll get a blip when it's game deals. He's the Canadian Wario 64. To be honest, I think he's better than Wario 64 because this guy has bots. This is the only reason we're getting such effective notifications is he's a good guy in the bot war. He doesn't do bots to buy stuff. He doesn't buy anything. He does it to do notifications to help people get these systems. So he's combating the bots by giving us access that the bots give scalpers, that people have been complaining about scalpers and bots, right? It's not a bot. It's just a script reading the APIs. I've talked to him, and I've invited him.
His bots are trying to get other people the deals.
Yes, I've talked to him. I've actually invited him on the show, and he says after things calm down, because right now it's crazy for him, he said he'd love to be on our podcast. And basically, he's like anyone else who has programming, APIs, scripting knowledge, because websites, all it is APIs. All storefronts have APIs, and if you know how to do scripting and use website APIs, you can create these bots yourself. So he's done it for good, to share notifications to help people get PS5s and Xboxes and the video cards. And it's been fantastic. Tons of people have been sharing their success stories and the mods there.
He has a Discord channel and stuff as well.
Yeah,
right?
And obviously it's blown up because people trying to get PS5s and Series X and video cards.
And 3080s and 3070s and 6800s.
So I got a 3060 Ti from one of his notifications, but it was no, I didn't. I got that from Memory Express because they were just coming up online whenever, and he doesn't have a tracker for their site because you can't do trackers on Memory Express or whatever. So I ordered one from there. It said it was in stock. I ordered a 3060 Ti, and then it turned out it wasn't in stock. It was just a stupid fucking pre-order. I'm like, you said it was in stock. Your whole notification on your website was like, this stuff is, 3060s are first come, first serve. We're not taking back orders and whatever. And it's like, okay, I ordered one, and it was a fucking back order.
Right.
And I'm like, rad. It was a 3060 Ti Strix, which was kind of cool. I was excited about that. But then it's like, for like less than $100 more, I got a 3070 now. And that's actually shipped. That was a Newegg notification that I got from L Babbins on Twitter. Of course, if your phone isn't in your hand or near you and you react quickly, it's still a challenge.
That's the thing. Is like I am a member of their Discord, which I've found. I haven't found his Twitter as good as the Discord, I think.
Well, it was probably a Discord notification. I have them both on because sometimes he does stuff on Twitter.
There's been a few times where I've clicked on the Discord link or whatever, and I've been like looking at a 3080 or 3090, and I'm like, okay, it's technically available. I mean, who knows if I would have actually been able to put it in a cart and check out in time, but it is really still a matter of, you gotta be on it. That's the real thing, man.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember how many times like I've seen something come up as like available, and I'm like literally a minute later, and it's not available anymore. So like,
there's been some big drops from Best Buy I've noticed with like in the last week or two of like hundreds of cards.
Right.
And those have had some good available. Like I could have bought more 3080s if I wanted to, but I didn't. It's like I could add it to cart. It was there, and it's like, well, I don't need one. My
big issue right now with all of the, especially the video cards, not so much like obviously the PS5s and the Series X, because those are at MSP right now. Like as long as you're buying from Best Buy or from an actual store, those are the price that you would like. Those are the actual retail price. The problem that I have right now with 3080s and 6800s is that every retailer in Canada has jacked the fucking MSP. They're way the hell up there. You cannot find a 3080 or a 6800 or 6800 XT for MSP right now. They're all MSRP, sorry. They are all like $80, $100
Yeah,
above
they're
MSRP.
$50 to $100.
And it depends. Like
I don't
some
know
of
if
them
that's the
are
exchange or
some of them are
what.
much higher than that. Like I've done the exchange and then added a little bit. And initially with the 6800 as an example, Newegg had a bunch of the reference cards listed at MSRP or very close to MSRP. Now they're all listed almost $100 more than that.
They gotta make their money.
So it
They're
sucks.
hard.
It's just shitty,
annoying.
man.
It sucks. The whole thing sucks.
So
Anyway, follow
anyways,
this guy. You could probably get this stuff if you put some effort in and follow him.
you got to be
and-
diligent.
Yeah,
You do have to be
you
diligent.
can't lollygag. You got to be ready
No.
on all these sites. You got to have your account logins on your
Yes.
Best Buy and your Newegg and your like.
Yes,
they
you
had,
have to be
like,
prepped and ready to go so
like
that
there was
all
a
you got to do
PlayStation
is
5
log
drop.
in and be, boom, done.
There was a PlayStation 5 drop on Shoppers, or not Shoppers, on the shopping channel. There was an Xbox drop on Dell. Like Walmart had some more Xbox. Like it's if you put some effort in, you might have some luck. It's your best chance. Follow this guy. And just to rewind back to the 3060 Ti 3070 nonsense, I decided I'm just building a new podcast computer because I had a case, I had a power supply. Black Friday, I got a motherboard, I got some RAM, I got some parts. I'm like, all I really need is a video card is the most expensive part. And I'm like, I'll put a 3060 Ti in it. And it's like, then Memory Express kind of screwed me, and I canceled that order, and I managed to snag a 3070, which should be here in a couple days. Now what's holding me up is the goddamn processor, because the whole thing was I was getting a 5950 or 5900 for my machine, and I just can't get that CPU because I was going to put the 3600 from the new PC into the new podcast machine. So it's anyway.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't been following it at all. Like
nothing. I went there
but like
today.
I was gonna say, has Memory Express or any of these guys even gotten a 5950 yet? Like in stock at all? Or
he said nothing. He said we've had 5800s, but I don't want a 5800. This is the monster machine.
What about 5900?
I think they had a couple, but they haven't seen any since. I've seen 5900s come up on the notifications on Babin's thing, and I'm like, at this point, I'm almost thinking I'm going to give up the dream of being stupid and wasting all that extra money on a 5950, and I might just get a 5900 just so I can get the new podcast machine built with the 3600 that's in my PC currently. Because like I don't know when the 5950 is going to come, and I have like this whole PC essentially that just needs a CPU, and until I upgrade the CPU.
And that is quite a lot more money.
Yeah, it's like $1,100 versus $800. So
750.
Yeah. So
760, sorry. But
for a couple more cores, it's probably a waste of money. So at this point, I've kind of like, the dream was to have the super top end. So I think I might just settle. If one magically appears, I will still get it. But I think if I see a 5900 pop up, I might just end up picking it up.
Yeah. I mean, really, if you wanted to go monster, you could have went Threadripper and you could have gone 24 cores. So
yeah, well,
you didn't want to go that monster.
No, I just wanted the new shiny, right?
Yes.
The Zen 3. This is the top Zen 3.
Yeah.
Going back to our news, Insomniac. This is still in PlayStation News. Eurogamer with Matt Wales. Insomniac's latest Spider-Man Miles Morales update adds ray tracing at 60 FPS.
What?
The new performance mode, which is pretty sweet. So yeah, to go wrap up all my shit and get my platinum, I'll get to enjoy some of that new goodness, which is pretty sweet. That's exciting.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So not much to say that, but besides that's awesome. Already getting more juice out of these systems.
Yeah, I wonder if they're rendering like lower resolution to try and hit that number, or I'd be curious like how, you know what I mean?
I played
like
I played in quality mode in that game and it really didn't bother me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm playing it on like essentially the PS4 version, so I can't talk. But
Yeah. Nintendo reportedly sends cease and desist to custom Joy-Con charity campaign. This story from GameIndustry.biz from Rebecca Valentine. Controllers were in memory of Desmond Atika, but included Switch logo and copyright. Nintendo reportedly sent a cease and desist to an Indiegogo charity campaign that was making custom Joy-Con controllers. The campaign, which reached nearly $37,000 in funds raised by its conclusion in August of last year, was for a set of Eticons, Joy-Con controllers with custom shells in honor of YouTuber who took his own life earlier that June. Proceeds from each sale were donated to a nonprofit. Proceeds, not 100%, so maybe that's where some of the issue was. Also, the fact that I guess the Switch logo was included as well. And also because Nintendo, this kind of set the internet in a tizzy.
it's shitty.
It's shitty. It's like a lot of people are like, oh, Nintendo should look the other way because it's charity. But
Apparently, they clarified later on via Twitter that the issue Nintendo took with the campaign was not the selling of the Joy-Con shells, but that the shells included the trademarked word Joy-Con as part of the phrase Joy-Con boys, and that they included the Nintendo Switch logo. So that's the issue. So they have since suggested that they may be able to publish a new campaign for the custom shells that does not include the trademarks.
Yeah, that probably would have been a good idea to not have their logo on there to begin with. It's Nintendo, man.
Yeah, it's like trademark stuff is so weird too, because like if you don't rapidly go after your trademark all the time, then when you do try to go after it, if you're not going after it on a regular basis by people, then it goes to court, and then it's a whole weird thing where, well, how come you didn't go after it over here? But like it's this,
and Nintendo is all over that shit. You don't fuck around with Nintendo properties. It's as simple as it gets. It sucks. It's too bad. They also sent cease and desist to like some Smash community tournament stuff, I believe, and some other stuff, and it's just like,
yep,
you can't do shit with Nintendo's shit without their permission. You can never assume.
The Smash stuff had to do with the fact that in order to do what they were asking or they were trying to do,
they were hacking
you had to use a modded version of the game, and Nintendo was like, fuck that.
Yeah, no.
So
don't do anything Nintendo without Nintendo's permission. It's kind of the gist of it. And no amount of crying and getting upset about it is going to change that. This next story from Kotaku by Ian Walker. We kind of talked about this. Quick Resume is working for more Series X games. I kind of touched on it on my Valhalla little chat earlier in the show. Microsoft is slowly starting to roll out more Quick Resume support on Series XS again, after it took the supposedly signature next-gen feature offline. So it's weird because it worked, like they said, before the launch last month. And it's like, no, Quick Resume worked on Valhalla when I played it at launch. And then it disappeared for, I guess, a week or two. And then it's obviously now it's working again. As launch games are coming in, we identified some bugs in Quick Resume. This is from Xbox Director of Program Management Jason Ronald. Said during the latest installment of Larry Herb's Major Nelson podcast, we thought it was better to disable it while we were working through some of these issues. Quick Resume, which allows users to switch between several games at a time without losing their spot in any of them, was one of the key selling points. Yeah, it's amazing when it works. So to have it disappear with no warning struck many as being odd and a bummer, which it was, absolutely. And it's really cool, obviously, when it needs, as it really neat when it works. As Kotaku previously reported, Quick Resume had been disabled for many Series X games before launch, though still worked with some flagship games, only to see support disappear. Last week, the games that had it dropped got the feature back. We've re-enabled Quick Resume for more than 20 X and S optimized titles, including Gears 5, Yakuza Like a Dragon, Valhalla. Ronald explained to Herb, we're going to continue to work very closely with partners to make sure this feature is working as we expect. We'll continue to re-enable for as many titles as we can over the coming days and weeks. It's also important to point out, as time goes on in a few weeks and a few months and beyond, quick resume will just work for all the titles that continue to come out. Herb added massaging the message with some obvious corporate spin in the coming weeks is just going to melt away, and this will all be a memory. Yeah, well, it makes sense. The systems, both of them, have had their bugs and glitches and have come in hot as hell and buggy, and PS5's crashing. Yeah. I've had my Series X. I've had both my systems crash. Like, this is new consoles. Like, it's software. It's bugs. It'll get
I've
fixed.
I had one crash in Sackboy actually, which was weird, where it just kicked me back to the desktop on the PS5.
I had a full hard crash on Miles where it was like, like that weird buzzing, like when your PC sometimes has a nice hard crash.
Yeah,
and I'm like, shit, and then I had to do the whole database rebuild and all that stuff.
Right,
it didn't like blow up like anything majorly, but
no, it's. I mean, there was another console update this week, firmware update for the PS5 that I know of. So they're working on stuff.
I think there was one for Xbox as well.
Yeah.
This next story also from GameIndustry.biz from Rebecca Valentine again. Halo Infinite gets new fall 2021 release date. Oh, who called this shit?
I mean, it makes sense. It's going to be the 20-year.
This fucking guy called this shit.
It's going to be the 20-year anniversary for Halo this fall, so I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, you didn't delay it for that, Dean.
You're not the only person that was saying that. I'm just saying that for them to delay at this point, what's the why not just fucking delay till then?
There was problems when we didn't see anything of this game until 2 months before launch. When we see games 3, 4, 5 years before launch, and we didn't see nothing until August.
I mean, we called that what? We were talking about it in September, October. We were like, geez, for a game that is supposed to be coming out so soon, we've seen one video. That seems odd. And then of course they pushed it. And I mean, I think that at that point, the question, like you said, well, I think it's going to be the fall. And I was like, man, that seems like an awful long ways to go without launching this. But I mean, I guess at this point, if it's already missing launch, which is arguably the biggest time to launch.
It's on the box of the fucking system. It's in their commercials.
Oh, I know. Dude, it's on Pringles cans, for crying out loud. It says coming soon.
Monster
it's
soda. Is it Monster? Yeah, Monster. Rockstar Cyberpunk, right?
So I hear you. I mean, I think at that point though, you got to ask the question, if you're Microsoft, we've already missed launch. What's another year at this point? We may as well polish it and make sure it's good, right?
You can't you can't release a dumpster fire. So the only right move was fall, and that's why I said fall. With how little we had seen, they might be able to fix this thing. COVID's probably having tons of impact, but the thing is COVID happened after this game should have been in a good playable state to release this winter.
Not necessarily. No.
Yes.
Dude, no. Because games come together. We're talking, some games don't come together till the very end. I mean, we're talking the last month or two sometimes. And COVID happened almost a year ago.
When there was no playable at last year's E3, we already knew there was issues. There's been issues in this game for a long time. There's been people leaving, several big people leaving, and more people leaving, and
there's a giant post if you're interested in, if you're even remotely interested in sort of all the goings on and everything that's going on. They did a giant post. They posted some new screenshots. They've explained a ton of different stuff. They go deep. It's big and it's long. Like I said, if you're interested in Halo Infinite, I definitely recommend go check it out, because they do explain a lot of what's going on and what they're planning and so on and so forth. It's a big article, man.
Fingers crossed they are able to pull it off.
Yeah,
I would just add that I do not have faith, and I also think Halo's time is come and gone.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, next year.
Yeah.
In some good news that some people are really excited about, Xbox Cloud Gaming is coming to iOS and PC in spring of 2021. This story from Eurogamer by Tom Phillips. Obviously, people on iOS haven't been able to enjoy the streaming functionality of Xbox games through their cloud app because Apple's been paying in the butthole and blocking that shit. And
I'm honestly surprised they haven't had a PC app till now. Too,
yeah,
though.
that's kind of
that part of
surprising
it was
too.
a little
like,
bit like,
you know, like on my MacBook, it would be cool to stream Destiny
Sure.
or some of the other stuff. The Xbox Cloud stuff works really well. It's a slick freaking app, and it's a lot of games that I get part of Game Pass Ultimate, which is an awesome value in gaming.
Yep.
And, you know, having it available on more screens and devices is a welcome feature. So, yeah, next spring, next year, and iOS people can get on it too, which they've been sorely left out. Thanks, Apple. Fuckers.
Yeah, I mean,
good news. I don't have anything else to add to it. Public service announcements. Dane, I forgot to look up the Epic Game Store freebies this week.
Public service announcement too. I do want to point out the Marvel's Avengers added Kate Bishop this week.
Yes, that is
I haven't had a chance to check her out yet.
DLC.
Yeah, it's a free upgrade, or it's a free edition for anybody that owns the game already. Also, apparently, the campaign, there's another chunk of single-player campaign that comes with her. So it's about 3 to 4 hours long, which is pretty exciting because that's
Greg
the
was
best
going
part
off
of that
on
game.
Twitter with how much he liked it.
Yeah, I hear it's very good. I'm excited to check it out. I'll try and check it out this weekend. So there's a PSA there. Your Epic Game Store games starting tomorrow, the 10th of the month, is going to be Pillars of Eternity Definitive Edition and Tyranny Gold Edition on the Epic Game Store. So
Cave Story, if you're watching this live, is still available, but if you're listening, it's going to be gone.
Go download it. Go download it now. So yeah,
and then that's it for public service announcements.
Yeah,
we talked about free for all section. Just talked about the 360 Ti 3070 nonsense. Not much more to add there. Do you have anything to add, Dane?
I just kind of piggybacking on last week. I know I had said I had picked up the first issue of the Endless Winter,
yes,
sort of saga on digital. I have now gotten chapter 2 and 3 came out this week.
Nice.
So the original one was called Endless Winter. That was like a one-off by itself. This week's was chapter 2 was in The Flash and chapter 3 was in Superman. I gotta say the Superman issue this week was one of the best Superman comics I think I've read in a long time. It really felt like Superman. There was a really heartwarming moment where he travels back and he's talking to his parents in Kansas and stuff, and just the interactions and the writing I thought was absolutely fantastic. And just kind of, I don't know, I just haven't had a Superman comic like that in a while. It was really cool. I'm really liking this. I'm really intrigued with where this is all kind of going to head and where it's going to go. I think it's really neat. So I'm interested. Like I said, the first issue, I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. Be curious where it goes. And I know I'm saying that again now, but you know, it is a 9-part story, if you will. So we're 3 parts in, and I'm very excited. I will definitely be grabbing the rest of this. So,
nice.
So yeah. So I thought I'd kind of update everybody in case they were curious. So,
yeah.
The Flash has a pretty great run-in with Black Adam and stuff, and there's some interesting things teasing about where the Winter King and how that whole thing happened and where he's coming from, and yeah, I think it's gonna be good.
And you got them physically, right?
No, I grabbed them digitally.
Okay,
I've pre-ordered, like, essentially, like, so it's a little bit frustrating. Like normally I would like to get these physically, but in this particular case, just the way that they came out, I came at it a little late. So normally, like with stuff like this, you want to tell your comic book shop ahead of time, like, "Hey, pre-order this for me, or pull one of these for me," or so on and so forth. And I kind of came at it pretty late in the game, and so most of the time when I reach out at that point, they're like, "Sorry, man, like we've already, you know, you're too fucking late." So
You're too
what I
late,
did is
homie.
I've pre-ordered them all on Comixology, which they're digital, and it sucks because it's all in American dollars, so we get hosed.
Goddamn American
But it is
dollars.
nice because you can pre-order them all, and then when they release, that's when they charge you. So, which is pretty cool. And then you can just kind of line them all up as your pre-orders, and then when they come out, they just show up in your comics list, and you can just download them and read them, which is pretty handy. So,
Nice.
yeah,
Dane, I think with that being said, we got an episode 284 and the gigabits in your ear hole. So what do you say?
I think you're right.
I think so. Thanks everyone for listening and or watching if you're in the on the Twitch stream live. You can follow me on Twitter at RickF RICF.
You can come hang out with me on Twitter at Dane Cody, DAYNECODY.
Of course, before we leave, don't forget to join the Discord server, Geekoholics.com/Discord. Do it. Check out the Geekoholics.com/contest page. I swear, I promise this time I will update it. Not tonight, maybe tomorrow. Before the weekend. It'll happen before next show. Absolutely. I will tweet it and I will obviously share it on the Discord. Choose whatever game you want. Digital version, North American only. We'll get that set up. And remember to add us on your Epic account if you're grabbing those freebies, if it gives you the option, or if you bought Cyberpunk, or if you're grabbing your battle passes and buying your V-Bucks on the Epic Games Store. Use our creator code, of course, Geekoholics.
Heck yeah.
That helps support the show. And of course,
I know when I went and bought Cyberpunk earlier, I threw it in there.
Paying yourself.
Heck yeah.
I can't use it because it's like you cannot use your own creator code. So
that makes sense.
I tried. And it's like, them, come on, guy. Come on, guy.
They're like, what are you doing?
Of course, you can also support us through Twitch if you like. If you've got that Prime sub, Amazon Prime, you've got Prime Gaming. Remember, you can throw us your sub on Twitch, twitch.tv/Geekoholics. Of course, you don't have to give it to us. Just use it because it's what'd you call it? Resubbing. It's not automatic. It just, if you don't use it, it's just like
it's
throwing
just gone.
money in the wind. You're just making Jeff Bezos that much more richer, and he doesn't fucking need it.
That's what he's hoping for. He's hoping Absolutely. You're not gonna.
He hopes you forget. That's annoying that you can't leave it on auto renew.
I know.
Like,
I wish.
Come on, guy. Like, you're so fucking rich. You no, oh, fucking guy. Yeah. Anyway, we are first and foremost a podcast. You can find us on all podcast platforms: Apple, Google, Spotify. The list goes on and on. We're everywhere. Of course, if you're watching this live, subscribe to our podcast. Subscribe, follow, like all our other sources of media: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're Geekaholics everywhere. Rate and review us where you can, and of course share us when you can with your friends on other Discords, on Reddits, any communities you may be active in. We appreciate it. Telling a friend and getting them addicted to us, that's fantastic. Or making their ears bleed for an hour and a half or two listening to my painful voice. That's kind of funny too. I think I got it all. Creator code, Discord, Twitch.
That's it.
Subscribe, like, rate, review. Geekaholics everywhere. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. And thank you for listening. Until next week, we are out.
Bye.
Peace.